Hello and welcome back. I am here with my Metadyne Industries Phoenix once again for a quick update and demonstration of my custom 3D printed front end. I'll do a quick rundown on what this does. There's a new nose, new barrel mount, and most importantly, a bolt. Or at least a part that plays the role of the bolt. You can just kind of see it. It's hard to focus in the dark. And bolts might not even be technically the correct term. But what this does now is when a ball drops in, the barrel actually slides back over the ball. So when you fire, the ball is now sitting in the back of the barrel instead of back here in the breech. So it means I can now use a proper barrel sizer, so that holds the paint snugly, and I no longer have to fire through the detents. You can't see it in this light, but there is a traditional spider / intimidator detent in there that holds the round. And for the purposes of this demo, I will feed it by hand. Also, I'm using a 3D printed barrel as well. And that is only because I don't know what the heck I did with my barrel kit. I have all the inserts, but not the barrel. So let's air this up. And I am going to be 200 PSI, which is, I believe, the same as what I was doing in the previous video. It's also 35 degrees outside, so similar temperature. It's not snowing or sleeting, which is a bonus. And let's see if I can do this a little awkwardly. So you can see the round sits in there. As the barrel comes back, the round is fed into the bore. All right, get my Crony. 292. Now again, if you didn't see the first video, at 200 PSI, I was previously struggling to get 240 or 230, 291, and on top of that, I could only fire about 3 rounds before it'd start breaking paint. 296. All right, so now I fired more paint in a row, I think, than I have ever done successfully in the original configuration. 297. So not only is it working, it is actually reasonably consistent. 293. And this is even the same bag of paint I used from the previous videos. 299. So yeah, velocity's fine. Let's see if I can do this a little bit quicker by hand. One moment. It is chilly and windy. That last one might have broken. Oh, the barrel looks clean. So, that is dramatically better than it was in the factory configuration. I imagine it was probably fine for some users, but for me, the original setup was essentially unusable. Could only fire, I think you get 2 good shots and the third would break, and the velocity would be pathetic unless you cranked the pressure to obscene levels. So right now, actually at 200 PSI, which was barely enough to break 200 previously, is now reaching the 300 FPS, which is spectacular. So I do have some more tweaks to do here. One thing you'll see, I'm actually using the back of the barrel as part of the assembly that will pop the ball up and out of the stack. So this is mechanically somewhat disadvantaged. So a typical bolt can simply scoop the ball, push it into the barrel. The next ball in the stack is barely even affected. With this, I'm scooping around the ball and have to push the next ball in the stack up, at least the thickness of the barrel, which is not ideal, so I can smooth that out a bit more. But it does work, and obviously that worked a heck of a lot better than my factory one did. So I'm going to keep messing with that and share any updates I have. I'm also continuing to fiddle with the vertical adapter, but I paused that for the moment since this thing was basically useless in its original configuration. I paused on that and focused on this because now it's actually a working marker, which it very much was not when I first got it. So that's it for the moment. Thank you very much, and have more for you later.